Starting a YouTube channel is one of the best things you can do for your personal growth. When I started, I thought I'd just be making videos, but it became my whole life. It has transformed my identity, my confidence, my speaking skills, my life, my income, and everything. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you through exactly why starting a YouTube channel is a brilliant idea, even if nobody watches for such a long time before you win big. And some of these statements are going to shock you, so stay tuned. Let's go to part number one. It reframes your ego. You see, the real obstacle isn't skill. I thought it was skill at the start. When I started posting videos on my phone, just talking to the camera, uploading on TikTok, I thought it was a skill problem. I wasn't getting views for such a long time. We're talking like 6 to 12 months of no views before I started to pick up traction and momentum, getting 100K on YouTube, on Instagram, and just growing my personal brand. So it wasn't really skill that was the issue. It was just being seen in public, failing and trying. Private success comes from public failure, but public failure is one of the hardest things to cope with, because failure is hard. You know, failing in private, let alone failing in front of other people watching, that is even harder. And when you're making content, when you're uploading a personal brand, you're putting yourself out there for the world to see, for your friends, for your family, to all see you. And that's the scary part, you know? That is where most people quit. They quit because they just can't take and handle the fear of rejection. And that's one of the toughest fears to overcome. But the truth is, that is the most rewarding thing. Once you level up with your content and keep posting and just push past the beginner's hell, the phase where it's essentially really hard. At the start, this could be 6 months or even a year or even 2 years. Now, I've been posting content for 3 years across multiple different platforms and channels. And I even remember making an Instagram, a new Instagram, aside from my private one, so that literally my friends and family couldn't follow the new account. But I had this one setting still enabled, which was show suggestions. And I woke up to 100 new followers the next day, which were my friends and family. And at that point, I'm like, damn, this happened, but I had to kind of like overcome and be like, yo, this is okay, but I'm just gonna move forward, continue posting, and eventually it's gonna work out. Eventually it's gonna be a success. Like at the start, when you're starting posting out content, your ego's on the line. It's very, very hard, and you're definitely not gonna see results. You're just gonna be the guy who's just posting videos, getting no views, getting no traction, and what is this guy even doing? But as soon as it starts to work, everybody starts to applaud for you. The world starts to notice you. And I've seen this happen with so many different people. Like when I was just starting out and just like posting content, like nobody said anything, and like I was just in the shadows essentially. And as soon as I started to win on social media, people started to applaud me in real life. People started to show me attention. And that's the big difference maker. Can you stick it out for long enough with content? Can you be consistent enough so that you can eventually give yourself a chance to be lucky? And the one point I want to bring across is that while you were thinking that your videos and your content life and personal brand is so important, and how like people are watching you all the time, criticizing your videos, and maybe, you know, like you have a video recorded and people are looking and they're like, oh, this guy has a weird hair on his face, or this guy's dressed weirdly, he looks weird, his voice sounds weird. But like people, they really don't care. They care about themselves. They're not looking at these micro details and judging you. People are not judging you. You are judging yourself through the lens of other people. That is what I learned with content and social media. I thought that, you know, I was being judged. I thought that I was in the light and people were judging me. But the truth is, nobody really cares that much. Some people are going to care, but it really doesn't matter. The reward is confidence. The reward is just intelligence. It's income, being able to live freely and do what you want. And, you know, your personal brand eventually just becomes your life. You're able to meet new people through your personal brand. You're able to travel the world to achieve a level of freedom that you never thought was possible. And that is the power of a personal brand. And in my opinion, the negative side of things, they're not that bad, you know, but the positives are incredible. So part number 2, quick and big wins. So first off, let's establish the mindset that you need to win. The mindset of I need to be good to start is the false mindset that most people try to start social media with. You're not going to be good before you start. You start, you put in the reps, and then you become good, and then you take more action and post even more. Then you become better, so you post more, and it's a cycle. It's a positive upward spiral. And that is when you start winning. You start posting more, you start getting feedback on your content, finding what works, improving it over time, and you just start winning again and again and again after all of the trials and tribulations. But the key here is you're not going to win in terms of views. There's different metrics of winning. For a long time, you're going to win in terms of, you know, confidence, consistency, developing the identity of somebody who can stick to something for a long time. Your speaking improves, your conversation flow improves, and even socially, like you become a way more, you know, attractive, magnetic, and charismatic person. I've been able to like level up my social game so much. If I'm at a business meeting or a networking event, I can click with people instantly and just make friends because I'm a good communicator, because of thousands of repetitions. I've pulled out and spoken to a camera 3,000 to 4,000 times at the minimum. Pressing record time and time again creates something that nothing else can give you. And I had very, very bad social anxiety before I started content. But after starting and after posting for 3 years now, I have virtually zero social anxiety whatsoever. It doesn't matter what time, it doesn't matter what group, what social environment, I have absolutely none. And that is just due to content, being on calls, hosting group calls, speaking at mastermind events, public speaking in general, posting content. It changed my life entirely. One amazing thing about running and growing a YouTube channel is the amount of skills you learn. Yes, I've just spoken about all the confidence, all the speaking skills you learn, but there's so many skills that you pick up along the way. For example, there's marketing, there's sales, there's technical skills for business, for editing, for building out websites. You have the aesthetic part, the graphic design part. You have creative skills for filming, for video ideation. I even learned filmmaking. I even learned the skill of discipline and consistency, being able to do something 1,000 times before you even expect any results. I learned how to speak better. I learned how to think better. I learned how to be more stoic, not having those big expectations, and the skill of being patient. Like literally hundreds of skills I've picked up just by being in the content game, just growing my personal brand. It's amazing. And another win that actually happened to me recently is you start getting recognized in public. So actually when I had 1,000 subscribers on my main channel on YouTube, that was the first time I got recognized, even though I didn't really have a big following. But I got recognized by somebody at my university. I would always see him here and there, and like we weren't really friends, but we'd just like say hi from across the room or whatever. But like one time he stopped me and he was like, "I've seen your videos on YouTube, man. Good stuff. Keep posting." And that was like really, really interesting. It was like a nice feeling of like recognition. And then fast forward to like 2 years later, when I hit 100K subs, I had 100K subs on YouTube, and I think I just hit 100K on Instagram. Like this was 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. I actually got recognized at my gym. Some guy, really cool guy, by the way, he stopped me. We were in the changing rooms, and he's like, "Yo, I know you from your YouTube videos, man. I've been following you for some time, watching the content, keep it up." And I started the conversation with him, and we talked about really interesting stuff. And that is the point of somebody actually coming up to me and introducing themselves. But if you're posting content, you will get people who don't actually come and approach you, but they do see you and they recognize you, and like they know that you're a familiar face, but you're not like that level of celebrity yet where people actually come up to you. Because sometimes I do get like weird looks in public. Like I'd be walking, in the mall or something, and I get like not just normal eye contact, but very like long and curious eye contact. So that is a cool thing. It's just a bonus of like posting content, putting yourself out there and growing. Now, if you're enjoying this video, drop us up. It helps me out a ton. Let's get into part number 3, the long-term payoff, identity architecture. So here's where it starts to compound and get very interesting. Your mindset completely changes. You become resilient to judgment, to difficult tasks. Your threshold for, what you can achieve, what you can move forward with, and, the obstacles you can overcome, it increases. You become more resilient. You develop this strong character in mind and wisdom as well. And then patience on top of that. I actually had a patience problem. I was very impatient, and like I wanted everything to happen so fast. And if I had like one bad day, I would equate it to like a bad year. And this YouTube journey has literally taught me patience. Like as much as I wanted to get to 100K subs fast and like grow on social media and build that income and build my dream life, everything takes time, right? And the fact that it took so much time for such a long time, it just taught me patience at such a deep level. And the quote that helped me is, "Fast success builds ego, slow success builds confidence." And in terms of like income and making a living off YouTube, the way it starts is you start to monetize your videos via ad revenue. You get monetized on YouTube when you hit the criteria, and that starts to be cool. It's your first payouts and stuff. It's really cool, but it does fluctuate in terms of the views you get. But then you decide to monetize your YouTube channel by, starting a paid community, which is what I did, and starting your own coaching business on the back end, where you take everything you talk about in your YouTube videos, the problems that you solve with the videos, and you help people on a further and deeper level personally, one-to-one. Because once you have an audience, then monetizing becomes much easier. If you think about like what a business actually is, a business is selling a product or a service to a group of people. Now, the biggest challenge that most businesses face is the traffic side, is just having people to sell to. Creating a good product or service, it's not the hardest thing in the world, but marketing that and letting people know that you sell something, that is arguably one of the hardest parts of business. And being able to grow a personal brand just solves that problem. The whole world uses social media. The market is incredibly big. And the specific problem that you solve with your content, there are so many people who have that problem, and their lives would be so much better if you just help them overcome that. Before the age of social media, there was only one-to-one marketing. Like the one-to-many marketing was like billboards or, posting your ad in a newspaper, or you do one-on-one sales where you would like go one by one and pitch your product or service. But now you have the access to one-to-many efficient marketing. You make one video, and depending on how good the video is, how much intention it has, the idea, the production as well, you could reach 1,000 people, 10,000 people, and even 100,000 people. And that is the power of social media marketing. It's amazing. So you should definitely start a YouTube channel. It is an amazing idea, even if nobody watches for a long time, because eventually they will. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.